Yar'Adua gives you 10, so you are still in the advantage. Would you take that deal? They agreed. And that's how Jonathan now became the president. Because if another Northerner had come in, that would have messed up what you quote unquote call democracy in Nigeria. So that is what I'm saying. The system is set up, to appease the people. The system is set up in order that there be, peaceful transition of leadership from one to another. But because of the rotational system we have in Nigeria, the question still begs up until today: how do you do it if it happens again, like what happened during the Yar'Adua's time? Would the Northerners agree, or vice versa?
Basically, what you're saying is Nigeria is a deeply tribalist nation. Deeply. I say this because power, if in all honesty, shouldn't even be between the North and the South alone.
Well, Nigeria, to me, is one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
Right.
And I believe that what we have in our baby attitude and lack of understanding, we have not been able to understand that diversity should be our strength.
Exactly.
Nigeria is the only country you will go to. You will see people from different diverse groups of culture, language,
Yes.
ethnic background, and yet fashion. So to me, that country is one of the most beautiful country in the whole entire world.
Right.
And when it comes to intelligence, we are matched by any.
That's true.
So now the only thing we need to understand is to understand that diversity is our strength rather than what is dividing us.
Exactly.
And I believe it's illiteracy that is causing all these problems that we're having. You go to the United States of America, you will see that a lot of people come from different parts of the world, and they were able to come together, have one language, and able to become the superpower in the world. This is what Nigeria is positioned to be in the black nations of the world, who are supposed to be the leaders. But what is happening right now is we're not taking advantage of all the opportunities that we have as being, different cultures that come together to beautify our land the way it's supposed to be.
I don't doubt what you have just said. I would say it's not the entire, this is a deeper problem that goes even deeper into the individuals. People at the grassroots, even as little as family, are deeply tribalistic. You don't grow up knowing how to hate anyone. I grew up hearing Igbos don't do this, Yorubas don't do this, Hausas don't do this. It's a learned behavior, and it's ingrained in almost every Nigerian out there. Now, you said, and you explained that diversity is our strength, which I agree with. You're a man from the Igbo culture of Nigeria.
Definitely.
Do you care to tell us what state you're from?
I'm from Imo State.
Imo State, okay, awesome. Now, Igbo people have been sidelined in the country based on history for years. There's Biafra right now, there is IPOP going on. Tell me what you think about that.
Well, as an enlightened individual, to me, considerably, and having understood what has been going on in Nigeria, Igbos, they have been marginalized for many years because of what we call the coup that took place in Nigeria. But understanding deeply the way the coup took place, it was really not led by Igbos. The coup that took place in Nigeria was even another tribe that was being marginalized, and they all came together. But as a result of that, what you come to see is that being Nigeria as a whole, now they feel like if you give an Igbo man another opportunity, the same thing might happen again. And that has it's been the reason why they have been marginalized in Nigeria for up until now, which is very, very unfair.
Exactly.
Now, so, but just like you said, there is a deep, what you call discrimination and tribal sentiments that are going on. I think that Igbos are tired of what has been going on, and they have come to the point of saying, enough is enough. We are part of the nation. We must be treated equally and fairly, just like any other people. And also, that's also it begs the question whether we have all been allowed the same opportunities as others, but we have not taken advantage of it. This is another subject that we can discuss at another time if time permits. But because I'm looking at Lagos State and I'm looking at other places and I'm looking at the governors that are ruling some of these places and the politicians and the corruption that is going on in Nigeria, the marginalization that is taking place to a greater degree is not by the government. It is by the politicians. They are being given a fair share or an equitable share per se, but they are not using it, for their own people.
Don't the politicians make up the government?
Well, the politicians do make up the government, but I'm talking about the governors. The governors feel like, they own, their state. And when the money is being given and the politicians are being given money, what we have seen in Nigeria is deep corruption that is way beyond, what even, normal person can even consider. I was in politics and I had the very great opportunity by the grace of God to go deep into a lot of things. And what I saw, I couldn't even speak it on air.
I don't think there's a separation between the politicians and the government, or the governors and the government.
Oh,
those that are there to govern. And I believe, yes, there is a deep-rooted corruption in the country, but it stems from the top. What the top is doing, everyone is following, and what the top is allowing, everyone is doing, everyone is following. We have a constitution in Nigeria. Can you tell us about the constitution? Do you know the average Nigerian does not know what is in the constitution in Nigeria? Basic human rights being violated on a daily basis. And this argument was actually brought up recently on Twitter, where Shey Makinde was going after the President Buhari, for the Twitter ban. He also came out to work for the Democracy Day. And he was saying, he was going after a remark that was made that the presidency is different from the president. This was blatantly said.
By who?
It was on a different network, on an interview, that the presidency is different from the president.
Was it Buhari that was saying this?
No, not by the president. It wasn't said by the president. It was said in his defense by one of the commissioners.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Because it's just kind of similar to what you said just now, that the governors are different from the government.
No. The governors are not different because the function is what they do. I mean, you are, the point that I'm making is this. An individual occupies the office.
Right.
But whether the individual occupying the office is going to be efficient or not, it depends on that individual and conviction.
Exactly.
So you can have an office of the presidency, and a Yoruba man comes in there and becomes a powerful, great leader of the nation.
Right.
But yet you can have another one from the north or from the southwest or southeast or whatever, or an Igbo man comes in and becomes a great leader. The office is right there. But the individual occupying the office will is the function of that individual, and the decisions they make will now determine whether there will be equitable welfare in the country, all people being treated equally, is all the decision or the constitution being equally applied generally to everybody, one section marginalizing the others. So these are the things. The office is there, the office of the governor is there, the office of the president is there, the office of the senators are there, but the individuals that are occupying the office will now are the ones that will say, well, am I going to do this, my job, the way I'm supposed to? Right. Am I going to take the money that is being given and then funnel it and take it outside the country, just like what you see, going on in our country today?
And on that note, going back to being marginalized and Igbo people, can you explain to the viewers, if Igbo people are only looking for equity and equality, what then is Biafra?
That's another question. Biafra was even the person who was what we consider to be the real leader of Biafra, which was Odumegwu Ojukwu, was even advising us that his dream is that there should never be another war in Nigeria. The reason being that the leaders will make the decision to go to war, but they will be in their sealed houses, and protected with their children.
Right.
It is the children of others who will go there and die and get killed.
Exactly.
You know, so now sometimes some leaders are just, you know, they have self-centered attitude and self-centered, selfish interests in everything that is really going on. So what happens with that is we don't want another war in Nigeria.
Right.
I personally do not think that we should have another war in Nigeria. I think we should sit down as a nation and decide the best way to move forward and make sure that everybody is treated fairly, equally, and equitably. But, you know, for war to come in, I don't think that this current generation knows what the war is all about anyway, and most of them are clamoring for war without understanding the consequences and the catastrophic, events that took place many years ago.
So what then is Biafra?
Biafra is an ideology to me, if you ask me. An individual who saw the opportunity of Igbos being marginalized, and then as a result of that, started clamoring, okay, we know that we are being marginalized. We know that things are happening that is not supposed to be in Nigeria. Therefore, he started crying out, for equity, fairness, and justice. But it's come to another point right now, and that is another subject which by God's grace, we're going to be discussing in detail, because, this ideology of bringing Biafra into the whole equation of Nigeria, which, we just saw recently, the Oduduwa, the Yorubas are saying we need to, separate too. I don't know if the Midwest are doing the same thing. So they want to divide Nigeria. I understand that the only reason why that is so is because states or tribes are feeling that they are not being treated fairly. And that is the reason why, I believe that is so. And especially the Igbos, and it's as a result of the war, that is the reason why they're being treated unfairly. Now, should we now go to war in order to get what we want? Because 3 million people died between 1967 and 1971, and the catastrophic things that took place, and how Nigeria under a particular finance minister wanted to starve the Igbos to death, and that was the only way they felt that Igbos were going to give up, which quite a large number of generations were destroyed.
Exactly.
as a result of that. Now, and that is one main reason why I believe that we should not go to war. We need to sit down as a nation, discuss the Constitution. If there are things that needs to be changed, it must be changed. It must be changed.
Right.
If the Constitution is treating, a particular section of people better than the others, we all have to have an equal playing ground to operate fairly.
I'm just going to interrupt you right there. The Constitution, I do believe, must be amended and adhered to. On that note, we're going to take a short break. If you're just joining us, this is Chelsea from The Discussion with George Chukwu. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you want to be your own boss and make income or extra income with flexible schedule? Welcome to Keenan Courier. Keenan Courier works as a marketplace platform connecting customers who need something delivered with drivers that are willing to serve them. Courier with any vehicle, better trip allocation, and cash out your earnings whenever you want. Download our driver apps today to sign up.
GBKM TV, the station with a vision. GBKM TV, the station with a difference now. Slim Flex said so. Big up Ghana, up.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Chelsea Okunji, and this is a special segment of The Discussion with George Chukwu. So, George, thank you for being here with us.
My pleasure.
I'm just going to go right into the next question. What do you think about the killings that are happening right now in the military back home?
The truth of the matter is that I believe that the leader of our IPOB handed the opportunity to Buhari to do what is happening in the eastern part of Nigeria. I know there has been a lot of talk regarding, the Imo State governor that invited the federal troops there. But if you also listen to the leader of IPOB and all the threatenings and every, the type of conversation and the thing that he's telling people and even threatening the government, the question is, okay, if you are a leader in Nigeria and then somebody is threatening you with guns and, if you bring the military here, we're going to kill them. They're not going to be able to come, they're not going to be able to return back, to the north and all that kind of stuff. What would you do? If you are a leader of a nation where people are going and burning down buildings, government buildings, destroying government properties, what would you do? Now, I'm not saying that this government is fairly treating the people in the eastern part of Nigeria or the Igbos.
Right.
But what I'm saying is all these rhetorics are the things that has given the government, Buhari especially, the ammunition to send the troops back to the east. And now they can, all in the name of keeping peace, massacre young people like they have been before. If it wasn't because of the threatening and ESN that took place, the government will have no reason to be sending troops to the eastern part of Nigeria. The children are being massacred.
Yeah.
Now, when they are being killed, that leader who has been boasting and talking nonsense all this while, I'm still looking, where is he and where are the guns that you are promising that you are going to send, the troops back to Sokoto in 5 days or whatever the case might be. So what I'm saying is that I believe that Igbos need to really stop listening to the man, and I'm going to say it emphatically, because the man is very undiplomatic, he's selfish and self-centered. That is what I say. Nnamdi Kanu should be stopped. Nnamdi Kanu, as a result of his selfish pursuit, have allowed the Nigerian troops to kill thousands of Igbo youths. Because if he's not doing this, how many times have they called Nnamdi Kanu to have a meeting to use diplomacy in appealing to the government in order to reach a consensus that will be fair and equitable to everybody? He will refuse because he feels like it's not, puffing off his ego. So we must let the people know what is really going on. And if you want to ask me, I have said it before and I keep on saying it, Nnamdi Kanu is working with Buhari. And then
really
that would
so?
be, well, yeah, I know so.
Against his own people.
Let me tell you something. Nnamdi Kanu, during the Operation Python, was let go. The only reason why Nnamdi Kanu is still alive today is because he owns British passport. Britain told Buhari not to kill him because of the British passport. Nnamdi Kanu would have been eaten up by fish in the sea. But they kept him alive because of that blue passport that he's bearing. Now he comes out again. He is hiding somewhere, wherever he is. And he's threatening the government with weapons. And then the government are now reacting to his threats by sending troops to the eastern part of Nigeria, to the Igbo land, and killing a lot of youths. Where is he? And where are the promises you're making to these Igbo people that you're going to do? None. You're full of mouth. He is a deceit. Nnamdi Kanu is a deceit. He is a fraud. And I can prove it.
For those of you who are watching who don't know, Nnamdi Kanu is the head of IPOB. That's the Indigenous People of Biafra. This is an organization that was formed by Igbo people as a response to the marginalization that has been going on. So now, moving forward, Nnamdi Kanu has been coming out to make threats to say that the government, we will not be able to tolerate any more marginalization, and we will be met with fire or retaliation. Now the government is attacking Igbo people in the east. That's for some backstory. You mentioned that you'd be able to prove this. How Nnamdi Kanu, you think, is working with the governor? How?
The government.
Government, I'm sorry.
Well, during the Operation Python, I was a spokesperson for IPOB. When they were talking about sending troops to the east, I made several phone calls to let Nnamdi Kanu announce and tell the youths, don't go out. And he fell on deaf ears. And they killed thousands. that is unreported. Thousands of youths were massacred. Now, 2 days later, the governors wanted to meet with him. And he came out and started saying that the governors are about to, they were trying to set him up. So my question to them was, all these young people that were massacred and killed, is their blood lesser than your blood? Why did you not want these youths not to go out there? Why did you allow them to go out there and then right now? And another thing you have to ask yourself, why is Nnamdi Kanu talking to the dead? Why is he talking to the dead? Nnamdi Kanu for the past 4 years is saying that Buhari is dead. Jibri is ruling Nigeria. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, hey, he's talking to the dead man. So, see, Igbos or people that are called themselves in the IPOB, they need to actually come to their senses because the man is a fraud. Why is he talking to Buhari now? Why is he now all of a sudden the man you claimed and brought all kinds of things out there showing that he was he died in Britain or whatever the case, another one that he died in another country, now all of a sudden you are threatening the man, calling his name? Are we being ruled by Jibri? Or are we being ruled by Muhammad Buhari? Which one is it? Because if he's dead and you talking to him and threatening him, so there's something wrong with you. So all these youths that are following this man need to stop being gullible, because Nnamdi Kanu is only self-centered. If you now understand what has been going on, all of a sudden there are certain stories that are coming out regarding Asari Dokubo. All the insidious things that are going on in between. The same way Asari Dokubo is to the government is how Nnamdi Kanu is to the government. Yes, and we're going to prove it.
Okay. So on that note, I would just like to ask one final question, because it's not only the East and people of the East that are being marginalized right now. There are high tensions of insecurity across the nation, higher than usual, to the point that the level of insecurity in Nigeria is something for people to be cautious about. What do you think we can do moving forward, or what can we expect for 2023?
2023 is the most important election in Nigeria, even before the Independence Day. The reason being that there are certain things that has been hidden regarding the oligarchy, the Fulani oligarchy, and the unfairness of the British government in favoring them against the other tribes of Nigeria. That is coming out in the open. And the Fulani oligarchy right now, what you can see that is happening, they're getting themselves ready because they know that they are really minority when it comes to population in Nigeria, although they claim that they are bigger, larger than, most people. But the truth of the matter is, all these things being exposed, the people in the West, the people in the East, the people in the South, the Midwest, and all the rest of them, they are coming to the full knowledge of what actually transpired that has been hidden for so many years. So everybody now is ready. I want my own fair share of the national cake. Give me some good roads, give me water, give me light, create opportunities for me. A lot of youths are tired simply because they go to school. In the days past, a young man will go to university. When he comes out, he will go and find a job and start his own family. These days, you see a 30-year-old man living in his own house. Why is that? Because the government has not been functioning. The government has been for themselves, siphoning the money of from the country and taking it outside the nation.
So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we know these things. We know the problems at hand right now. I'm asking, what is the solution?
The solution is the awakening of the youths.
The youths are awakened.
Oh, wait a minute. See, look at NSAS, what happened. There must be a great lesson that the youths must have learned from that place.
Yes.
They were doing a civil protest. They were not violent.
Exactly.
But the government felt that, okay, this is really against us. So they created a diversion by bringing some people that might not have been part of the youths, and then all of a sudden the whole thing was turned upside down. So now, diplomacy is the key. Diplomacy. There is a way for you to objectively and reasonably demand for your own rights and refuse to say no.
Isn't a peaceful protest one of those ways?
It is one of those ways, but still, listen to this though. See, because there was going to be a complete paradigm shift in the way the government is being operated in Nigeria. Number one, if all these old people are recycling leadership among themselves and the godfatherism is still being festered in Nigeria, the youth now will wake up and ask questions and say, in the 60s, how old were these young people who took over the government? How old was Ojukwu? How old was Gowon? How old was all these young people that actually toppled the government the way they did? So to me, my question is, the youth is coming to the realization that the money that the presidents are stealing out of Nigeria is your inheritance. The money that any politician is siphoning and taking out of the country is part of your inheritance and a generational wealth that God gave to every single Nigerian. Therefore, we must hold the government accountable for every single money that has been taken out of the country. The ones that are coming back, they must give account where that money is being used. So now the youth are going to rise up because this is your time. If you keep quiet, it will continue the same way. So the paradigm shift that will take place now is youths will have to get into the government and demand fairness in democracy so that the youths will be involved in governing the nation. This is the time.
That's what's happening, and that is what the government is pushing back on. NSAS was a perfect example of the youth waking up and showing that we are aware of what is going on. We are tired of the mistreatment, and we want free and fair elections. Not only free and fair elections, we want the things that that you're supposed to be governing us for. Yet the government tries to retaliate with killings, with brute force, with things that they know that we cannot fight back on yet. One message I have for the government is that the youth will have to take over. There is no other way succession will happen. But on that note, I'd like to say thank you, George Chukwu, for joining us here at the studio. Thank you so much for this special segment, and thank you, viewers, for joining us as well. My name is Chelsea Okonji, and this is The Discussion. As you all know, I'm your host. You are joining us live on the GBKM network. If you haven't yet, please download our app, search GBKM on iOS and Android, or you can also visit www.gbkm.tv to be able to catch this special live. See you soon.
GBKM TV, the station with a vision. GBKM TV, the station with a difference now. Slim Flex said so. Big up Ghana.
Hi, welcome to ZFM's exciting summer program. Last year, the children learned awesome ways of making animation videos. Let's give you a sneak peek of what the children learned last year. This year, we have some exciting programs for this summer. The first program is the cartoon character rigging. This program will teach the children about basic shapes, character designs, character refining, flexi binding, and lots more. This is where children bring their imagination into reality. The program starts from July 5th to July 22nd, and the programs are in 3 phases. The second program is the Kids Coral Draw. This is where children learn how to explore their creative minds by using the software to learn how to draw. The program starts from July 26th to July 29th. Details and registration links are on the flyers. Zoom ID will be sent after payment and registration. Hurry up and register quickly for these exciting programs before the seats are